nationalists who look at the politicized version of Afrocentric thought under the banner. They not wrong, because if standing from the position, let's assume that everything they told us is true, what is we supposed to do? We have to cover that base, right? Now, what if everything they told us was a lie? How do we know what to do? So now that's my responsibility. I got to cover that. I got to show you who did it, why they did it, where they did it, when they did it, and how they did it. If I can meet them to explain to you the deception, you should no longer be susceptible to fall for the deceit. If once you done heard the message and you still continuously fall for the deceit, then your desire is to be deceived. Because contrary to popular opinion, more people want to be lied to than told the truth, because the truth hurt.
They sure do.
And the lie massages egos. So they want you to massage their ego with the lie rather than tell them the cold, hard truth. And that's most people. If you tell them the truth, most of the time in this era, they say you was talking about them, or you was being mean to them, or that you evil, because you told them the truth, because people scared of the truth. Because then they had to deal with the fact that they pretended that they was going to live this lie without knowing it's a lie the whole time, because they didn't tell it to themselves. They allowed the lie to take hold and guide their perception. Right? So the hair and the understanding of cultures become critical aspects of all of our interactions on the land. Humans are pack animals.
That's right.
And the energy of a particular person is going to always establish them as the de facto leader, whether they want to be or not. Because you got the right knowledge and the right energy, and you telling the story from an angle that's different from the norm with the receipts, then people look at you as an outstanding phenomenon, an exception to the rule, and become awestruck, and sometimes can take it celebrity worship to the people revealing the situation to them.
Mm-hmm.
You can't fall into celebrity worship, because then you starting to blind yourself again to the truth. You're becoming self-delusional now. You're trying to convince yourself to believe that something outside of you is greater than what's inside of you. And one of the ways you do that is you over sensationalize celebrities. All they are there for is a distraction, to get a low vibrating people something to talk about. At the end of the day, who had to sleep with Jada Pinkett, Will Smith or Chris Rock?
Will Smith.
So whether Will Smith is wrong or right for slapping the slob out of Chris Rock mouth, Chris Rock didn't have to go home with her.
Right.
Chris Rock didn't choose to go home with her. We only care about what we've seen. We don't care about the position of the people that's performing the function. In other words, I understand you're a celebrity, but I want you poor and struggling just like me. Unless they celebrity worshipers. Right? A celebrity worshiper is worse than the one that's the celebrity anchor. Because celebrity anchor wants you to be the celebrity with no compensation for your skill set that you spent your life developing to entertain them. Those are celebrity anchors. And that's the energy that make the celebrity become distant from his fan base. Because a sizable portion of the fan base is haters pretending to be admirers, hating on you under the pretense of admiration. It's the same as what my mama called dry snitching. Alluding to what somebody did to somebody who should be able to figure it out. Man, it wasn't me. I wasn't there with Tone and them. Wait. Who is Tone and them? Oh, no. I'm just saying. I wasn't with nobody. I was by myself. You dry snitching ass motherfucker. Where's Tone and them at?
You already told.
What they tell you before they was going that you decided not to go? Man, I ain't gonna be putting them niggas business out there like that. You already know how they get down. They known to be stick up men, so they going to rob something automatically when you say that you dry snitching SOB.
Right.
Same thing, just in a different arena.
Yeah. Hey, Rod, another question. Because we just read that the hair was the antennas, and I noticed that if hair give us some kind of power, they allude to that fact in the allegory stories in the Bible about Samson and his hair getting cut off, right? And I noticed right around the 60s when we was rocking these afros, we started getting this power. Hey, we finna fight back. Like it's gonna be there was a different type of a different generation of movement with the afro, right? And then all of a sudden, boom, they come out with the perm. Now listen at this. Now Germany, this guy in Germany is the one that put the perm out, right? And it's a lot of stuff that tie in with Germany, like the Adolf Hitler thing, white superiority, and all of this. What if these Germans or somebody else was studying and knew that the hair is our antennas, and knew that, hey, we got to go after these guys' hair, that'll cut them off from universal connection, just like you just read. It'll cut them off. Go ahead, could you go in on that?
Look, a lot of that stuff, they giving them credit for creating the perm in 1906. We was perming our hair 10,000 years ago.
That's right.
They might have rediscovered it, but they didn't invent it. You know, and as far as what Hitler was talking about, he couldn't have been talking about no blonde hair, blue Aryan race unless he was talking about Yakub Graf the devil.
Yeah, he on the same page. He was on the same page with it, according to what Doc said. So it seems like these Germans, it's got always got their hands somewhere in the back end on some kind of scientific. But like you say, I know for a fact that we was doing perm way before these guys when you just said it, because I remember the ancestors used to use back in the 1800s. They used to mix potatoes, and some of they show you actually in the movie on how to, in the movie Malcolm X.
That's called conking.
Yeah, conking. That's what it's. Yeah, you already said that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. We've been doing that stuff for thousands of years. Ain't none of that stuff new to us.
Yeah, that's right.
I had to run those stairs out here.
Oh no, you good. Go ahead. Hey, y'all, take a look at this picture right here. This is the 9 ether right here. That now this is the Sands people. You see you ever see them brothers or them sisters with this type of hair where it's so tight they don't even gotta lock it up, it just automatically kink up like this. That's that real 9 lock that 9 ether hair right there. Now some people over here got this, and not only this, some of y'all that got the light skinned gene, it don't come from you by. Sometimes it don't even come from you having the pale man mix. It come from these people gene. They got the light skinned gene in them, And so you see them. They so a lot of y'all might be light skinned that coming down from the Sands people who was already over here in South America for thousands, maybe even millions of years ago. And I can show proof of that too, that they was down in South America because they're the subside species of these people is in South America right now.
But it's an African presence since
Oh,
early.
go ahead. Go ahead. Hold on, go back. Right here. This is what you was at right here. All right.
Yeah. So this is a book on Black root science.
Okay.
When I was telling you earlier, the Black root science ties to man ether.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, this book was written way after the one Malachi wrote.
Okay.
Right. But it's telling you from a different explanation the same information.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to take this book out, Black Root Science. It's like I've seen that book before. All right, this is how.
So this is one of the founding books of the Rasta Nation. Right? I'm a little windy from running up and down the stairs.
I like this right here book. The title of this book. Scroll.
This is the Royal Parchment Scroll of Black Supremacy. We're going to read the back of it in a minute I wanted people to see it. This is one of the foundational reading or manuals for the Rasta Nation.
Mm.
When they reconstituted the Rastafarian nation, they was also rekindling the old Mau Mau of the West. I use the Mau Mau as the reference from Kenya because the Rasta oath is so similar and they call to arms is so similar to establishing the Mau Mau. I use them as comparative analysis of what I'm talking about. What the Rastas don't put in words, I can use the Mau Mau words, what they put in words to explain the actions that's being taken because they still are people.
I'm about to get this book right here, though. This looks like an interesting book. Because I believe Haile Selassie got strong connection with Enlil. I'm telling you. This on my look.
This is the back cover. This is the back cover of the book. Right? Now pay attention to the first line. The grammar is like the senses, which seems to us to be indistinguishable from nonsense. Y'all catch that? The grammar is like the senses, the sense, which seems to be indistinguishable from nonsense. In tribal terms, that means they don't know our language like we do, so they can't quite figure out what we're saying. And the whole concoction is so putrid that we wonder what class of people could ever take such rubbish seriously. They quoting somebody as saying that, I think they're making reference to this particular book, but it's like this passage was published by the Gleaner newspaper. So now they're telling us where it came from. On the 6th of June, 1927, in reference to the Royal Parchment Scroll of Black Supremacy. Right? This book influenced the Rastafarian leaders of the 1920s. It emphasized Black pride, Black dignity, and Black glory. Leonard Howard used it extensively. The government banned it. The white plantocracy feared it, which is the Society of Plantation Owners. It's the plantocracy. The black masses loved it and treated it as sacred as the Bible. Truly a bold and remarkable writing, especially in Jamaica, where downpression of the people is a way of life. Downpression, y'all, that means to suppress people and hold them back. Right? Give thanks to Isis unto Jah Rastafari.
Fire. And you know what I think, Rod, who wrote that first quote based on the ideology of how
They
it
just
sounds?
told us. They just told us it was in the newspaper.
Yeah, but the Jewish guys was the instant ones that inserted it. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's who owned the newspaper in the 1920s.
Right? You can listen to how they work, how it's worded. That's something that's how they would say it. That's how the Jewish guys would say it.
This is how you know it was written for only certain members of tribes to understand the first sentence. The grammar is like the sense, which seems to us to be indistinguishable from nonsense. And the whole concoction is putrid that we wonder what class of people could ever take such rubbish seriously.
Yeah, that's the Jew. That's like the Jew, the Zionist guys.
But remember, when they say that the sense of it is similar to nonsense, they saying they can't make out what they talking about.
Yeah,
That means it's tribally coded to
yeah,
block their ass out, and it
yeah.
makes them confused when they try to figure it out.
Something like a revelation.
Something like a revelation in your dome.
They can't figure They can't figure the riddle out. It's fire.
Oh, this is the Corpus Black supremacy. When I was going through and I seen it, I said, well, I'm going to show this as a reference too, because it's still tied to the African root science, the black root science, the science of the nine ether, that is gibberish to people that's not nine ether. Right?
Mm.
So go on, roll the corn.
Yeah. So this picture right here is what the Asians like. They say this is Buddha and all these other people, right? But the Chinese don't got hair like that, and like the Asians can't do this with their hair, but our people can do this with their hair. That's how you know we was over there, right? If you look at the hairstyles.
Kinky twist.
Hold on, go back. What you say, Rod?
So what we call them, kinky twist.
Yeah.
But that is a statue of the Buddha. That one has the origin of India.
Right.
It's not a Chinese Buddha, but the hairstyle she wearing is not necessarily the same hairstyle, but it could be similar. So hers is twisted, but the hair on the Buddha head could also be seven ether curls. Right? They would still have to use the same patterning to describe it. The only thing is, if you look, they are in concentric rows and they're not in what we call staggering rows, which means that it's indicating more of a deliberate hairstyle than a haphazard hairstyle. Right? Because the art would have reflected. So by being in linear patterns, and it looked like it's been parted between the sections, indicating that there would be a similar hairstyle to what she's wearing.
Yeah, that's why I say, because if you look at the little galaxy-looking squirrels right there on her head, and you look at them right here, galaxy-looking squirrels, you can see.
That's the energy harvesting. That's how you learn how to gather the electromagnetic or the static electric energy in your hair and concentrate it and control it.
Now this is Sans, man. If you look at that hairstyle, boy, that's that 9. That it's a couple. I saw it's a couple of people over here. Well, a whole bunch of people over here got this hair right here. Right, that was just so tight. Well, they don't even got it. If they don't brush it, it'll lock up like this naturally.
They also don't. That texture of 9 ether doesn't grow very long.
Go ahead.
He don't have to go to the barbershop. That's it for him. He don't need no line. He don't need no fade. He can just leave it just like that from now on, and it's not gonna change.
Yeah, and I noticed they don't grow that much hair on their face neither. I want to go look.
No, that's right. And half of the tribes over here, the men didn't grow hair on their face.
Yeah,
and the ones they did used to shave it mostly clean.
Yeah, that's the only thing. That's what made me question that beard thing. that about the
There's
concept.
only certain tribes. The ones who lived in the colder climates were the ones more likely to grow hair on their face.
Makes sense. Because I know the Hindus don't. The Hindus can't grow hair on their face. The Sands man don't really grow hair on his face. It's like different tribes that don't grow hair. All right, yeah. So here goes some hair on the Almacs, and you can
Yeah.
see, yeah.
That's what we commonly call either cornrows or dreads. But
right.
by the patterning of it, it would tell me that it's more likely deliberately braided that way in a cornrow, or what we commonly call today French braids, rather than a dreadlock. Because the dreadlocks would be also protruding from under his helmet. So it tells me that those people did work with their hair.
It's braids. Those are braids with a beads at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Braids with the beads. And that bead looked like some kind of, or it might be that same little squirrel like it was on his head, like the other person's head, like a braid with a squirrel at the end. Because you remember that other one had looked like that squirrel right there too on their head. All right, so you remember I was telling you about when they were talking about the redhead kings and all this. Yeah. All right, so these people right here are the Bantu people. They're really the same people. All the people I just showed you really all the same people. These are the Bantu people. They was in America. I'm telling you, I got pictures.
They not the same. They have mirror tribes.
Mirror tribes.
Right. Where you have people with the same phenotype, culture, background.
Yeah,
right. So they mirror tribes. The tribes be separated for so long, they probably came from the same people, but over time in the geography they at, they're not the exact same people. They just call kindred tribes at that point.
Yeah, we got more mixes. We see over in America, we was the melting pot. So we more of an upgraded species than the Africans because we got more of the superior, like more different extra, like it's a whole list.
I think that came out like I don't think that came out right, but we have evolved differently than the people of Africa evolved. Most of the tribes on the West Coast from what they call the Niger Condorfian stock, which indicates sub-Saharan West Coast Africa, are plants from over here to over there. But we always intermarry over here in the royal families. This is what the breakdown in the European front royal families genetics was breaking down because they wasn't outsourcing foreign blood from other royal families because they was trying to maintain the appearance of what we call whiteness. Mm-hmm. Right? So they didn't incorporate bloodlines from other tribes that was outside of their little tribal network, which causes the genetics to break down. Well, Americans been knowing about genetics from the beginning, so we always incorporated the royals from other parts of the world into our royal families' bloodlines to diversify the genetics. And most of the people from this land had old blood, so they was able to correct a lot of birth defects in foreign royal families. So it was calibrating the earth to a prime template of bloodlines.
Yeah, but a lot of people in Africa got old blood type too.
That's because they came from over here.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. We the same people, but we just upgraded. America people just a little bit more upgraded because we got more mixes than them. They more of an original potency from leaving from over here. You know what I'm saying? Like they left from over here, but over time, say if we was them, right? And then different groups just came in and began mixing in with us. Stronger groups, groups that were strong with us, and we just wanted to combine, like you say, combine our blood and this and that. And right. Then over time, we just became a different species, but we the same, but we got more.
That's why you call them kindred tribes.
Yeah.
Y'all related, but you're not the exact same tribes no
That's
more
right. That's right.
over time and separation.
That's right.
It's a kindred tribe.
That's exactly what I'm
And
saying.
the way you explaining it, people won't understand that us not being Africans and they trying to tie us back to Africa, what you saying.
Look, like
So
man, we
that's
can
why we
drop the. What we need to do is we need to drop the word African because when the time I'm talking about, the word African didn't even fucking exist.
right.
The time I'm talking about, yeah, the word African didn't even exist. This land was one land almost when I'm talking. The time I'm talking. See
Yeah.
the African thing, we still trapped on the African thing. Oh, these people from Africa and like we trying to separate the lands. Like all this land is not one land. That's crazy. All this
But
land is one land.
we not the people that's born from the original bloodlines over here not responsible for the liberation of the continent over there.
Yeah, that's the way it is now. But what I'm
Right.
telling you,
The ones over here responsible to liberate this continent over here.
yeah, I
Turtle
ain't saying
Island.
that. I ain't got nothing. I ain't got no
No, no.
problem with that. I ain't saying
We
that.
still got to explain this for people that's watching, Elder.
Okay, go ahead.
So when you looking over there now, Garvey said it, Elijah said it, a couple more of the elders said it. When you see Africa start to liberate themselves from colonization, just know it's going to be being done all over the world.
Right.
Right. And the most visible expression of the total liberation of the continental people over there is the Ibrahim Traore story and how he's picking up the mantle that Muammar Gaddafi laid down trying to unify the countries. He's more successful because Muammar Gaddafi's bloodline was Arab and they didn't trust him. Even though they didn't have a reason not to, but history is the foundation by which they didn't trust Gaddafi. They thought he had ulterior motives. But Ibrahim Traore, coming from the bloodlines of the land, looking like the people, they more likely to trust him. And when they see the success he's garnering in Burkina Faso, then it triggers I'm joining on with his program because it's working. We doing the same thing over here differently, right? We're on an information campaign that's just as critical as the gun running campaign. And this is why we have to make clarifications when we refer to the people from the continent over there, because you got people over here screaming we ain't gonna never be free if Africa ain't free, but they not finna go help Africa get free.
Right.
Right? So they tend to distract from the war at home. They don't want to pay attention to that war. It's too overwhelming. But if they can stand on this side of the ocean and talk about the war on the other side of the ocean and they don't have to participate, then they the most gangsterous liberators Africa ever seen. But they ain't finna go over there. Right? Is unapologetically African as they might want to be, take your ass to Africa and help them get free. Because they doing it. They not talking about it. They literally living it. Whereas the tribes over here is doing from a different angle. We still fighting the same war. The physical progress you see taking place on the continent mirrors the unseen progress that we making over here. We taking over the algorithm of social media just to prove to them that more than one of us know what's going on. 5 years ago, there was only a handful of people telling us who we was. 5 years later, you got people from every tribe popping up on social media telling the real. You even got pale faces and $5 Indians doing it too. They know who he is.
Yeah. But you know what I think? You know what I think, Rod? I think once we get through separating everybody, and then we get down to it, it's gonna come back to what's your blood type. If we all got old blood type, we the same people spiritually, because the spirit is in the blood.
Well, based on the marriage and intermarriage between the bloodlines, that's not going to be a good standard any longer. It's gonna expire because you're gonna have A and B bloods being born to O blood parent, right? So
two O, you say two O have an A and B. That's happening.
Yeah. It used to be that when you cross certain blood types, the woman's body used to reject the fetus and she'd have a miscarriage. But they got drugs they giving the women now where they bypass this process.
Hey, well, whether people want to believe me or not, when they talking about the red hair kings that was in Utah, they talking about our peoples who put this red clay stuff in their head. They call it Bantu people, and they was in America, and they tied in with the Phoenicians as the same people. These people right here was in America too.
Well, you had people that looked similar, but they might not have been the same exact people. Remember, America had more diversified phenotypes than any other land. We had everything from chocolate dark to high yellow before 1492. People that could have passed for European that was full blood native. But that's a whole nother ball game. That ain't what we was. We throwing, yeah.
You know, somebody over here look like her, don't you? She look like my little sister.
There's a lot of little girls in the hood
these
look
are
like
Native
that.
Americans, man. These is Native Americans.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they look like. They're gonna tell you Egypt. This is Egypt. We standing on right here. This is Kemet. Hey, but look here.
Go back to the very, very first picture out of the one I told you to save for last.
Yeah. I'm about to go back to that like this. Hold on. Probably go to the rest of the stuff. I got a couple more slides. Here you go, right here.
That's the next picture.
You got it, Rod?
It's the next picture, Elder.
Oh, it's the next one?
That one. Okay, now look at the picture. Can you blow it up, Elder? All right. You see the one standing there in the back got an afro?
Yeah.
Okay, now they didn't call it an afro. Scroll down to the right, because the hairstyle is named after this tribe.
Yeah.
All right, now it's a close up of a painting by Rudolph Steger titled. Scroll down a little bit past your picture, Elder.
Okay, as far as I can go.
No, I need to see the top a little better.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
The first there you go, right there. Deputation of Indians from the Chippewa tribes to the president of Upper Canada. Right now, when you get down, it's not an afro; it's a Chippewa. The hairstyle is called a Chippewa.
Fire.
Black Americans being victim of identity, history, and cultural theft by the Albions and their mulattoes naturally explain the urge to beautify themselves by combing out their hair. To the place where the Albions told them they all came from Africa. Hold on.
Hey, y'all hit that like, hit that subscribe button.